Yeah, tough times for Liverpool as it stands right now, and not an opponent they are enjoying coming up against this season in Crystal Palace, conceding first in 7 consecutive games in all competitions for Liverpool. 0 clean sheets in the last 10 games in all competitions. It means Palace have now won 3 consecutive games against Liverpool in all competitions. And for Sarr, that's 5 goals in his last 4 games against Liverpool in all competitions. Don Hutchison's here now, and he is a real soothsayer, because when they went 2-0 down, he said he pretty much predicted this on Twitter. Oh, you're so smart, Don.
I'll tell you what. Every time that he gets something right, he reminds us of it. Good Lord.
Don, what's going on?
Do you know what, Kay? I think even the staunchest Liverpool fan can't be angry tonight, because the group of young players got sent out there. And I really felt for that group of players. I've made my debut for Liverpool in this competition. And the one thing you want when you're a younger player, 2 or 3 younger players playing, you want experienced players around you. That team had no chance of beating Crystal Palace tonight. Even Crystal Palace brought some of their first-team players onto the pitch in the second half. It was one-way traffic from minute 1. I felt for Nalo, who got sent off. He made his Champions League debut, got sent off. He made his debut in the Carabao Cup tonight, got sent off. But it really was a rookie error from Arne Slot. I have to say, Kay, when you look across the board tonight, and you look at Newcastle, and you look at Spurs, and you look at Arsenal, and you look at Man City, and you look at Crystal Palace, they all played sides with probably 4 or 5 first-team players in it, or at least 3 or 4, 5 first-team players on the bench. Newcastle tonight brought Bruno Guimaraes on, they brought Joe Linton on, they brought Anthony Gordon on. Arsenal brought Bukayo Saka on, they brought Gabriel on, they brought Declan Rice on. Those kids that started the game tonight, it was even younger on the bench. There was no first-team players to be seen on the bench.
Don?
So what chance?
Like, what's he telling us by doing that? Because you're at Anfield, you need to turn the game around, and your team selection, when it comes to the bench as well, how's he going to do that?
It was awful. It was awful, Kay. Now on social media, a few guys came back at me and said, well, you know, Don, Liverpool have got 3 games in a week. They've got Aston Villa, they've got Real Madrid, they've got Man City. Newcastle have got 3 games in a week. Man City have got 3 games in a week. All the teams that are playing in the Champions Leagues have got 3 games this week. So I've got no idea. I couldn't get a handle on why he put that amount of youngsters in the starting 11, but the bench was just even younger. It made no sense whatsoever. As I said, when you're a young player, Kay, trying to make your way into Liverpool's first team to try and catch the eye, you want experienced players around you. They had 0 chance of winning that. So Liverpool fans will come away from that being so frustrated at Arne Slot, because he has to take the blame. You know, it's not the young kid's fault. Arne Slot put that 11 together and put the bench together. So it's totally down to him tonight. So Liverpool fans will come away from it thinking no blame on the youngsters. Tried their best. It was too much for them against a good Crystal Palace side who deserved their win. I think Ali was saying there 3-0, all of it. Could have been a lot more, could have been 4 or 5. But Arne Slot's got some big questions to answer tonight.
So, Shaka, what can we read into him putting out this 11 today? Does he just want done with this cup competition so he can focus on getting things right in the league?
Yes, is the only conclusion you can draw from that. And to be fair, Arne Slot is not alone in this. And while Don makes reference to a number of other Premier League clubs, all of whom, City apart, had Premier League opposition, you see wholesale changes. And the truth is, while you're happy to be in the hat for the next round, if Newcastle had lost, if City had lost, I'm not sure that Eddie Howe or Pep Guardiola is losing any sleep as a result of being out of the Carabao Cup. This cup is used and has been used for quite some time more for fringe players to get them involved. Now, it became more of an issue for Liverpool because of the current run that they're in. If Liverpool were top of the table and they went out in a similar fashion, nobody would bat an eyelid. But because of the run that they're in, the question then becomes, do I bring some of my senior players in just because they need a win, they need some confidence, they need some momentum? But clearly, Arne Slot thinks that things aren't maybe as bad as current results may make it seem. I'll just go with how I've always planned to approach this competition. Throw the kids out there. If we lose, so be it. I'm not losing much sleep over it.
Well, let's take a look at what's ahead for them, Don. Obviously, beyond Aston Villa at the weekend, it's Real Madrid and Man City. But with this game, Aston Villa at the weekend, what does he need to do here? What's the plan?
Well, ironically, I actually think Liverpool will beat them because Aston Villa won't park the bus. That's been Liverpool's problem. I think Villa will come and try and win the game, which might suit Liverpool. I think it'll be an entertaining game. I think there'll be goals. I think you showed the stats there, the graphics that Liverpool had conceded the first goal in the last 7 games, no clean sheets in 10 games. So they're going to have to find a performance, Liverpool, because they can't. And that's 2 games now they lost at Anfield. Doesn't feel like a disaster when you only lose 2 games so far in the season, but it could get worse. Those 3 fixtures there are tough on paper. They're going to have to start the season somewhere. And the team talk from a manager normally is when you're in a bad run, right, guys, what's gone's gone. Our season starts against Villa. It's the only way you can approach it. You can't look at Real Madrid during midweek thinking, oh, I've got one eye on that one, because if you lose another Premier League game, I think personally the title's done. I don't think Liverpool have got enough clean sheets in them. I think Arsenal are streets ahead of Liverpool defensively. So Liverpool's season starts against Villa. It has to.
Goalkeeper.
I didn't say. Did I say Newcastle goalkeeper?
Yeah,
I didn't mention Newcastle.
You said Newcastle goalkeeper hunting for partnership.
All right, Shaq, get in touchy because it's your team.
Get it right. And Ramsdale was on fire.
No, I said that Big Nick has been a big hit at Newcastle.
No.
After that.
We're moving on. Move on.
Next up, Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Cardiff against Chelsea, Manchester City against Brentford, and Newcastle, that is Newcastle, Ale, against
apparently.
Fulham in the quarterfinals of the
baby.
Carabao Cup. I was about that.